Hello world, I'm Matt Lucas and this is Muay Thai news for the week. So we had a lot going on both here in Thailand and a lot going on internationally. First off, over at Raja Demnaran we had the continuation of the Raja Demnaran World Series. This time some nice bouts, Fluknoy versus Mateus Casarino. Mateus, an Italian fighter from 7 Muay Thai out in Rayong, not too far from here in Pattaya where I am located. Took the bouts on points, so he gets 3 points for the win and advances in the tournament. Also up were several lady fights. Samlat Sami Manop Gym fought Dazzy from 7 Muay Thai, the same gym as Mateus. Samlat did a great job controlling the game. It's something that a lot of the foreign fighters are having difficulties with. Controlling the game is when the usually Thai athlete outpoints them, usually using long-range weapons like the teep to disrupt the timing and then scoring with heavier attacks. We saw this a lot over at Lumpinee with Wang Feihong versus Norsing DNA Thailand. We also see it when Ferrari fights. He's usually very good at controlling the game. Usually more technical fighters control the game. So Samlat controlled the game against a very game Dazzy. So Samlat will advance in the tournament. Looking forward to seeing more from the Manop Gym fighter and seeing how that tournament develops. Next week, or this coming week rather, is Bukau putting on an exhibition show, and then the following week the tournament continues on Friday. Over at Lumpinee, we had Fairtax Fight Promotion, the Road to One. It was the second leg, or second stage of, if you will, of the tournament. Some amazing fights there. Highlights I would say would be Celeste Hansen versus Petsinen Sorpong Tong. Celeste did a great job getting through the controls of Petsinen, who for me was one of the tournament favorites. Celeste was just bigger, stronger, was able to knock Petsinen around with her power, and was uninterrupted by the controls that Petsinen was trying to trap her with. Celeste was able to knock down Petsinen twice in the second round, and the referee called it off very appropriately. The co-main event was absolutely dynamite. Morakat Pet India Academy took on Thai Sorjor Piak Utai. Thai Sorjor Piak Utai is Kulab Dam's younger brother, and cut from the same cloth, heavy-handed, lots of excitement. Mordok Pet did a great job dominating the first round. He was taller, he was bigger, and Thai was just soaking up the attacks. But in the second, Thai unleashed with a barrage of punches, was able to knock Mordok Pet's head around, and then bang, landed a beautiful uppercut that sent Mordok Pet to the ground. Hopefully Mordok Pet will be okay, and we'll see more from him because he's an absolute dynamite fighter. He fought over at Max Muay Thai some time ago, did well there, is a regular on some of the Pet Indie shows. So Thai, though, advancing in the tournament and towards that $100,000 contract with One Championship. So over in Malaysia, the IFMA Youth Games are cracking off. They're still continuing, so nice to see that. The US A team sent over a handful of representatives. The USMF, which is a branch of IFMA in the US, the United States Muay Thai Federation, got official sanctioning approval for New York State. So they will be a sanctioning body in New York, one of the hubs of Muay Thai, especially on the East Coast. So hopefully they will be throwing more pro-am shows, professional and amateur. The amateur shows, of course, will be USMF, and the pro shows will be under the WMC, World Muay Thai Council, which is very much affiliated with IFMA. Over in Canada, we had a great show for the WBC Youth Games. They had their first event ever and was a resounding success. The Thai team sent over Sanchai to help out coaching. We had Kwan Kao Jockey Muay Thai Gym, also Pet Tor, who is Piak's younger twin brother, Petor, winning gold. One of the smaller dynamite fighters, Quan Cao, also won gold in her division. A very strong fighter from San Francisco, California Martial Arts Athletics, with David Egger, won gold. Her name is Som. So a lot of great talent were able to showcase their skills there. There were over 150 athletes in 18 countries. So a boom of Muay Thai in Canada. Special thanks to Kieran Kettle for setting that up. They already have plans for the next show over in Venice, which is going to be in June of 2023. Speaking of upcoming shows, we have some nice ones. Feihong Stadium, of course, has more shows coming up. Barbara Aguirre is going to fight there again against another game fighter from Tiger Muay Thai. I believe that's in 2 weeks. This Thursday, tomorrow, Sakchai Noi Mu Den is taking on Andrew Caporo from the US. Andrew has been doing well out here. Recently was in a 4-man tournament at 61 kilos. He ended up losing on points to Joseph Pumpan Muang, a very accomplished Eastern European fighter who is based out here in Thailand long term. So looking forward to seeing those 5-round fights from Feihong Stadium. Again, Nuum Noi putting on some great matchups there. Going on down under, we have some very nice fights. Eruption is this weekend on the east coast of Australia, over in Queensland, Brisbane area, put on by Paul DiMacaulay. That has James Sweet as Honey taking on Cedar Yotlak Muay Thai, who is from the south of Thailand. Cedar actually was supposed to fight on Domination, which is in Perth, but Toby Smith was injured, so he moved over to the east coast of Australia to take on James Honey. James has been doing very well, has been on a nice run of form, wins here in Thailand against Super Bowl Fairtax, then a win over Brown Penis from One Championship, and now he's taking on Cedar. So definitely one to look out for, James Honey, who is training out Strike Force. On the West Coast, over in Perth, we have the Domination Show. There's some good matchups over there. Kia Bradley will be taking on Marie. Marie won the Super Champ Regulars female fighter. I believe that one's at about 52 kilos, so definitely good matchups over in Australia happening. Speaking of matchups, they have been announced for September 3rd at Rebellion. It's going to be a combination show between Roots and Rebellion, and there's some very nice fights there. Recently announced Hugh O'Donnell from Combat Chat Podcast is going to be taking on Czech Republic Andy Savovsky. So Hugh has been tearing up the scene lately in Australia, been advancing very well, is training out Suton Gym over in Sydney with Iram and Crew Jet, who used to be Yachts and Clyde's trainer. Andy out here at Fairtax, training regularly here, sparring with the likes of Ferrari Fairtax. Andy has a lot of experience, has fought in IFMA, done well over there. So I think it's going to be a good clash. Also on the card, Tomb winner Muay Thai, Ramesh Habib, the Headhunter, a very nice female matchup with Joanna Law versus Soraya. So looking forward to that one. That's going to be on September 3rd in Melbourne. And last up, I'm having another media and marketing class on August 27th at 7 p.m. Thai time. It's going to be $75, an hour and a half. We're going to go over how to get sponsorships, how to grow your audience authentically, and the skills that you need to develop. I'm also going to be following that up with a workshop specifically about how to create content that gets engagement, how to do highlight videos, how to do telling stories, what sort of content actually captures people. So if you're interested in that, hit me up, send me a DM. Is limited attendance, so definitely get to me fast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you have any comments, concerns, and as always, if you found this valuable, definitely give it a like, a comment, a share, and let me know how I can help you. Make stronger fighters, make stronger people.